Being that the Trump administration is showing no love to Harriet Tubman, figured I might as well bring attention to someone that actually is. So Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer is an indie comic book series written and created by David Crownson, and the first issue has art by Cortland Ellis, and the second issue by Joey Vasquez. And similar to the concept of Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter, which I actually enjoyed that book, but the movie I heard was trash. It basically takes a famous historical figure, in this case being Harriet Tubman, and giving them some supernatural origins. Taken directly from the Kickstarter, it says, when slave owners can't stop the formidable ninja warrior Harriet Tubman, they call on the help of vampires, werewolves, witches, and demons to stop her. Harriet Tubman must lead a family of slaves to freedom while battling an army of darkness. And I gotta say, the first thing I noticed when I opened up this book is Cortland Ellis's art. Like, oh my god, this thing is gorgeous. Like, I'm not sure if he's also the colorist, but just the use of lighting and shadows and just the way that first page looks, I was just like, wow. Alright, I'm not going to talk too much about story details and really give spoilers, just in case you do want to check this issue out for yourself. I will talk about some minor story elements because I have to in order to give my overall thoughts of these first two issues. And granted, there's only 2 issues out right now, but I believe David just finished a Kickstarter, which I do believe he hit his goal, so congratulations to him. But eventually he'll be releasing issues 3 through 6 sometime in the future. For the most part, I did enjoy these first 2 issues. The book starts and you get to meet Venus and Cesar Edgefield as they are escaping their master's plantation, and they eventually meet up with Cesar's wife, Catherine Edgefield, and at least for the first 2 issues, I'm assuming they're going to be our point of view characters because they know nothing about this world. However, with that said, I feel like there are some contradictions in the writing because in one moment when they're confronted with vampires, they seem to know what vampires are, but then a couple panels later, the father is asking Harriet Tubman, what's a vampire? And I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense because as of right now, they're the only ones in this book that even said the word vampires. So if they don't know what a vampire is, how do they even know what that word is? Also, with that said, in terms of the dialogue, there's some punctuation issues, and then there's one panel where there are 2 words that weren't spaced apart, and there are moments in the dialogue where they're speaking in the typical black speak of, you know, of the 1800s, where they're saying things like yes'm and they're speaking broken English, but then in other panels they're using phrases that we use today, like not today Satan, or I said what I said. And so again, those are like some overall issues that I have with some of the dialogue, but overall, like, it's not so jarring or it's not so problematic that it took away my enjoyment of these first 2 issues. It's just something that I noticed while reading. As I mentioned above, like I said, the art by Cortland Ellis was the major driving point of keeping my interest in this book. But like I mentioned before, the second issue, the art was by Joey Vasquez and the colorist was Josh Burcham. And it's not to take away from their design. Like, the art and the colors were awesome in that second issue. I love the way the second issue looked, but if I had to pick of which aesthetic I like better, I definitely have to say that I like the way the first issue looked better than I did the second. But again, that's not to take away from Joey Vasquez and Josh Burcham. I do want to know more about this world and the lore, because it does seem like Harriet Tubman, she doesn't seem to be just a regular human that decided to fight vampires and demons and the forces of darkness. She basically has super speed, super strength, agility. She's basically Harriet Tubman, the vampire slayer. And so I want to know, where did these powers come from? How did she learn about these powers? What made her decide to risk her life to fight against vampires? And with that said, I would like to also know more of who these other characters are, the Edgefields. Also, something else that I hope that David fleshes out more, I want to know like the standard rules of what kills a vampire. And the reason I say that, because in one panel, vampires get shot with guns, and some of those shots include headshots, and they're unaffected by them. They say gunshots hurt like hell, but they don't kill vampires. But then later on, you see Harriet Tubman shoot some vampires in the head with an arrow, and those kill them. And so I'm like, why is it that an arrow can work, but a gun doesn't? Is the arrow laced with some special magic? Is it made with a special metal? Hopefully that's something that gets answered later on, because I was a little confused by that. But yeah, like I said, overall, I enjoyed these first 2 issues. I definitely think you should check them out. Just like I mentioned in my Excellence comic book review, I'm all about supporting comic book creators of color. But before I do give a rating for Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer, please check out the description box below. I give an explanation of my new rating system that I'm trying out. But for Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer, I would say it's a minor hit. So are you interested in checking out Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer? Did you already read it? What did you think about it? Let me know down in the comments section below. Also, please be sure to give this video a like, hit that thumbs up button. It'll really help out the channel. And while you're at it, please check out the other videos on my channel. And if you like what you see, please subscribe for more and tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel. channel to help me continue to grow. And while you're at it, please check out the links in the description box below. I give my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, so please follow me on there. And as always, I'll catch you guys next time.